Well, I think that's one of the big things is the misnomer of the word hacker, right? Because like when we say hacker now, everyone has a very clear, concise definition of what a hacker means, right? It's someone breaking into a
Hmm.
system or doing illegal, nefarious stuff. But back in the
Yeah.
day, when we all started this stuff in the early '90s, that's not what hacker meant at all, right? So
No,
what's
no.
like what's your definition of the original like OG hacker? Like meeting up in these groups, and you had your hacker loft. What were hackers then?
Hackers were people. I remember people have asked me this all the time, and I always remember I come back to the same thing I always think of is a hacker is somebody who, if they're walking down the street and they see a weird box with like some wires hanging out of it, they'll go over there and just open it. They'll be like, "What's going on in there? What is this thing that is part of the infrastructure of everything around me? Like, what the is it doing? Like, what is that thing? You know?"
Yep.
And everyone else will just be passing by. Or if somebody else will walk by and they'll be like, "You shouldn't be touching that," and it's like, "Why shouldn't I be touching it? I'm not trying to do anything bad. I just want to understand how this thing
Right.
works." And that for me is always the hack. I mean, a hacker is somebody who, if they see something, especially if it's part of the infrastructure of the world, I think that's a critical thing too. I mean, in general, curiosity about how things work is great, but in particular, I think a hacker is somebody who realizes that there's a lot of stuff that we just rely on every day, that we use every day, that we have no clue. Most people have no clue how it works. No
Right.
clue. How
It's
does how does,
magic.
how does this phone work? What is this magical rectangle of glass? You know, where is the data? How does the data move around? What are the RFs? What's the sea of radio frequency signals that we live in every day? What's being communicated, especially, and so in particular, hackers like want to understand that environment, the
Yeah.
the opaque environment that that is typically either either people just don't care about it, or
It's too
certain
hard.
vested interests or certain vested interests don't want you to know too much
Oh,
about how
true.
it really
AT&T,
works.
MCI.
Security through obscurity, right? It's like, well, we don't want you to know how that works, because you'll look at it and you'll go, "What the dude? What unencrypted in-band signaling? Okay, you know."